Took me forever to find these. They were in the 01.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So obviously we used them.
Oh, really? Oh, green?
Oh, really? 01? Ah. Dad with the jokes this morning. Got a little bit of rain this morning. Didn't even do enough to make anything sticky, but holy cow, it made it humid. It's gonna be a fun one today.
That's a little narrow. There we go. I bet this does a lot better.
I bet it doesn't shoot oil as bad as the other one did.
Man, it was.
It's a nice
when
shower.
When it finally gave away, it was blowing everywhere. Yeah, just like a waterfall.
Oil fall. Such an easy fix. Well, no leaks. He's just got to get the air worked out of the cylinder now. That's what happens when you spin into a tree. Makes our door open a little hard. You're probably right at the bottom fifth. Yeah, let's go ahead and add what we've got. Might as well, since the machine constantly leaks oil when you're running. Well, if you guys didn't watch the previous video in this series, filled that with all the sheet metal from that barn that is no longer over there. And now we've got to smash it down and see how much room we can get, see how much more metal we can fit into it before it gets too full. Lots of room left. All right, got all the piles of metal in there like you guys saw. Smashed it down. There's still plenty of room. So we're gonna kind of comb through this fire. Probably with the excavator because it's still a little hot in there. Hoping these trees will take off here soon. There should be enough heat in there for them to start burning. Run the risk of melting my shoes. That one's a little hot still. Well, we started tearing up some of the concrete, some of the foundation. Started making a real mess, and then we're like, what are we gonna do with all this concrete? Not sure, so we kind of put that on pause until we had somewhere to go with it. We've got a local guy that likes to use it to fill in ravines and stuff like that, so we're waiting on him to get back to us to see if he could use any of it, and if he could, we're just gonna break it all up, pile it, let them haul it off. Looks like it's just a bunch of old walls with a random, you got a little bit of metal from the roof, some old fence bailed up, some cinder blocks.
I'm really not sure. Like I said, it opened to the south. So it was like just a small shed.
Was it a building to, like, with the coal mine?
Yeah, I think so.
Like an office building or something, maybe?
I don't think it was, well, I mean, I guess that's possible.
Kind of where they did their business and then loaded trucks out of there.
Possible an old scale house or something. Because I'm assuming there was the scales down here at some point in time.
Regardless of that, it's a pile of rubble now. So, I guess ultimately that doesn't matter, just out of curiosity. Any idea what year this is from? Pretty brittle now. I don't see any dates on any of them. If I'm not careful, I'm gonna find another snake in here. See if I can find a date on. I just see brick. Yeah, if you wanted to go ahead and kind of break it up and pile it, and then I don't have to dig as much, I can just kind of scoop it up and move it. I like it. We got a plan. Let that thing burn for the next couple hours. Those creosote soaked posts. I'm gonna ride with Dad. Ugh. Well, after about probably 25 trips, 25 bucketfuls over to that hole, which actually is still not full. Way bigger hole than I ever thought we dug, but that's good because we've needed it. We're actually making progress. There's always more junk. always more junk than what you think there was just looking at it. Got a little more cleaning to do. Dad's kind of finishing the last section, but I wanted to show you guys something. So up against that big tree, this was laying over there. And now I don't know exactly how it works, but I've heard stories. It was a John Deere mount that I believe, I may have to have Dad correct me. Basically, it tied 2 4-row planters together. I don't know. Does it have sentimental value? Maybe. But it's not. It's one of those things you don't want to just scrap because of what it was, and I don't know. We'll have to see what Dad thinks about that. Tell me again how this all hooked up.
Okay, this is, I don't know exactly what John Deere called this hitch, but it was a John Deere hitch. So basically, this would be laying down flat, and your two rear tractor tires would be on each side of this.
Okay.
So then this.
So this went up under the front part of the frame of the tractor.
So this would have bolted to your tractor hitch, and then I'm assuming, I don't remember exactly, but it would have been somehow then
to the axle,
to the frame,
or to the
and then that was up in front between the front tires.
Okay, so this stuck out between the front and rear tires.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can see where Dad probably made his own hitch because this wasn't quite the right
width or what?
And then he had 2 4-row planters hooked to it. So one hooked here, and obviously the other one hooked here. And then when the tractor would turn, that would allow those planters to pivot. So this bar here, and you can see the rollers, would literally like roll as you turn. That way it allowed the planters to stay together. Because if you didn't, then one's going to be pulling
like sideways.
So it allowed those hitches to roll around. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And the hitches stayed consistent with each other.
So the two your guess row per se between the two planters would stay
always the same,
and they would stay squared up.
And then basically each planter just operated on its own hydraulics like it would if you were just using it by itself.
Yep.
Okay. So it was like the early version of swath control.
Yeah.
You could raise 4 rows up and plant.
There you go. Nice. But it allowed him to run 8 rows at a time instead of just 4. Very cool. All right, so if that was totally confusing to everybody watching it, if nothing else, I'll at least put a little picture up here of what it would look like mounted. I'll try and find one. I don't know. Do we have any actual personal photos?
Probably no personal photos. I've got the
manual.
I've got the manual at home.
If nothing else, we'll put a little picture of the front page of the manual. Should give you guys a visual of what that was supposed to look like. It's after 5 o'clock already. So we'll continue tomorrow. Well, we're going to start this morning off with a little bit of bin work. Dustin's making progress, which means sweeps are going to have to start. So I've switched through all the bins that I can, and they've all just about run dry. This one's not quite, but it's pretty close. So I've got no other option at this point but to start sweeping. So let's get to it. Well, that just added 20 minutes to my sweeping time. Well, that seemed to take way longer than it should have and normally does, but it's full, and that should be more than enough corn for Dustin to be able to haul all day today. So, time to go see what Dad and Kyle have been up to at our coal mine farm restoration. Kyle and Dad made some pretty good progress around this tree this morning. There's just a few little chunks of wood here and there I need to pick up, and then a little bit of leveling I've got to do. And as far as all the roots and everything you see, we'll worry about cleaning those up when that monster comes out. But with what they picked up from there, I'm pretty sure that hole is more than full. And then we actually heard back from the local guy, another chunk of metal. He does want all of that concrete, so that'll be next. Gonna start trying to chip away at that and figuring out exactly how thick it is and how hard or easy it's gonna break up. Alright, and that's all we do filling in a big hole like that. We ran the excavator over it many times to pack it down, and sure, it'll still settle a little bit over the next few months, year or so, which is why we kind of hump it. And all of that dirt we have for our use to fill in any holes we might need. What do you think? Foundation wall looks like it's coming up pretty easy.
I think I can make a really big mess that is going to be hard to clean up.
Yeah, that's a given. But
I don't know what else to do.
Right now, at least you're just able to break it. Wasn't sure we were going to be able to do that.
Once I got the first break in the wall, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was just getting that
first one lifted up and out.
Yeah.
like a big game of Tetris. Well, talk about time consuming. Takes forever, but we made a pretty good dent in it this afternoon. Got a nice pile over there ready to be picked up, hopefully soon. Pile's been restacked, let it burn over the weekend, and hopefully get the rest of this cleaned up next week. Alright, well, fast forward a little bit here for you guys. It is now the end of Monday. The entire day we spent today clearing that concrete. Same thing, Dad would break it up, I'd haul it to that pile. I mean, just, that is one big pile of chunked up concrete if you ask me. But until we level this out a little bit, the barn's gone. It's kind of sad to see. It's been an icon out here for quite a while, so kind of get a little sentimental. A lot of memories, not personal, but a lot of stories I've heard happened around this barn, around this property. So it is officially finished. Hope you guys enjoyed the whole video. It was quite the project for us, but want to leave you guys with a random fact. Did you know that 1 inch of rain over 1 acre of land is a little over 27,000 gallons of water? Interesting. We'll see you guys in the next one.